Yes, people, what is good? Welcome to the stream. Excited to hear some of your guys' tracks today. Thanks for sending them into the Discord. We're just going to wait for a few people to hop on, and then we will start. Armensky, how's it going, man? Good to see you again. How's your day been today? Just going to wait for a few more people to hop in before we start. Mark, how's it going, bro? Hope you're good. Just put a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me okay. Armensky, good to hear, bro. I think you're up first as well on this feedback session, so excited to hear what you've got this week. Nice one, thank you, Mark. Right, if we hop straight into this, I think there was a bit of a technical issue where we had two broadcasts set up, so I think there was a few people waiting in the other one, so hopefully they realise and come over to this one. But yeah, let's start with Armensky. He's here and he's the first on the list, so let's dive straight in. Cool. So far, really love it. I really like. It's given sort of like fun festival vibes. I really like that bass as well that you got in there. It's different. and it sort of fits with the vibe really nicely as well. And I really like that sort of vocal texture that you've got going on underneath. I think that works well. Just a mix issue. Well, it's not really an issue. It's just a sort of note. Basically, the drums could be sort of more present in the mix, I think, and more punchy, because it's sort of lost over the sort of other stuff, the percussion, etc. So if you just change, maybe just bring everything else down, and then the drums will sort of punch through a bit more. And then, yeah, other than that, like, really cool. The vocals really nice as well. Fits that sort of fun vibe of the record. So yeah, loving it so far. Let's carry on. Mensky, great work, man. Really, really like that. I really, really like the second drop as well. What you've done with that sort of arpeggiated free rate synth that's leading up to the drop, and in the drop I think you've added like a crowd effect or something like that. Just gives a bit more atmosphere. I really like it. And I think you've added like a timbali sort of percussion hit as well, which I really like. And yeah, the second drop for me works really well. So maybe try and implement some of that stuff into the first drops, just so it sort of hits a bit harder. But other than that, yeah, great record. Really like the vibe on that one. Sort of really picks you up. And again, would be great for like a sort of day festival or like something by the beach. I think that would work really well. So yeah, man, great ideas, great creativity as well, with that sort of arpeggiated thing on the build-up. And yeah, man, I can't really say much else about that other than good record. Just have a look at the drums, see if you can improve the mix on them. But yeah, man, that second drop is really, really good. So yeah, just try and implement some of that stuff into the first one. And yeah, man, you're good to go. So yeah, wicked. Thanks for sending in. We'll go on to the next. And we have To Get You by Orlando Bond. Let's go. Orlando Bond, great work. I'm just going to give some feedback now and then we'll play the rest in a minute. But yeah, man, you've got some great foundations there. The kick, the drums and the bass, super solid. I reckon that'd sound wicked on a big sound system in a club. So yeah, great work on those. Vocal is that sort of cool, like diva style vocal. I think it works really well. Things that I would sort of improve on are it sort of sounds pretty much the same from the beginning of the track to where we are now. And there isn't really a sort of distinctive break. And you can see that in the waveform as well on the screen. It's sort of the same size throughout until it gets to the end, which we'll listen to. But yeah, man, it would be good to hear like the drums sort of come out other than just the kick. But 100% your foundations are there. The bass is sounding really nice. Sounds super fat. Yeah, man, let's listen to the rest of the track.
To get you up, 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 to get you
Orlando Bond, wicked work, man. Like I say, like really like that. It's a great foundation, and yeah, it just needs to be polished. I think these. So at the end here, you've got some like really cool pad that comes in, and for me, that's a key part of the track, and you've literally used it in the last 15 seconds of the song. So I think definitely take that and implement it in other places in the track. Maybe have like a breakdown somewhere and have that pad come in, because with that vocal I think it'll sound really, really nice. So give that a go, and also try adding some swing to your drums, because for me it feels very like straight, and there is some groove from the bass line, but you could definitely add a bit more sort of swing and groove to them drums, which will again help the record. But yeah, great foundations, great work. Just have a look at sort of adding in some extra elements like this string that you've got at the end, or pad sound, and sort of make the breaks a bit more distinctive. So take out some more of the drums, and yeah, just add a bit more structure to the track, and then you're there, mate. So yeah, great work. Thanks for sending in. On to the next, Fluid 6. Orlando Bond. Sorry, didn't arrange properly yet. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you haven't arranged it yet, then yeah, that's fine. Just take some of them sort of notes and use them as you will, and yeah, take that pad, put it in places, and send it back in. Would love to hear. Cool. Let's go with Fluid 6 is up next. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Thanks for sending in again. This is Coming For Ya. Let's go.
This song is coming for you. Biting it for your life. This song is coming for you. I'm fucking up your whole night. No use in fighting it. Biting it. This song is coming for you. Biting it for your life. I'm fucking up your whole night.
This song is coming for you. I'm fucking up your whole night. Song is coming for you. I'm fucking up your whole night. This song is coming for you. I'm fucking up your whole night. Biting it for your life.
Biting it for your life. This song is coming for you. I'm fucking up your whole night. No use in fighting it. Biting it. This song is coming for you. Biting it for your life. I'm fucking up your whole night. No use in fighting it. This song is coming for you. For your life.
Fluid 6. Great work, man. Really, really like that vibe. Mark put in the chat, Michael BB, Minimal Tech. Yeah, like 100%. You're sort of bang on that sort of vibe. I really like the vocal. The drums are great, really punchy. And just the whole vibe is really good. I really like the main breakdown. It properly sort of like takes you out that groove, gives you a chance to like have a break, and then nicely brings it back in with some cool effects in there as well, which I really like. Just a few sort of minor tweaks that I'd probably do. The clap seems like it doesn't punch through as much. It could basically, I think it's got too much of a long tail. And if you try and shorten that, I think it'll be a lot more like snappy, and sort of make the drums feel a bit sort of harder hitting, if that makes sense. So maybe just have a look at that. And these are like only really small things. The track is great by itself as it is. This is just tweaks that I'd sort of do. And then finally, the bass seems sort of very low in terms of like the note or the octave. So maybe try just putting it up one octave and then see how that sounds, because right now through my headphones I can't really hear it as well as I would like to. It's a bit sort of rumbly, if that makes sense. So yeah, give that a go. But those are only two small things, and that was me being very picky. So yeah, great track, 100% work on the dance floor. And also the vocals, try and add a little bit of processing in terms of like reverb and delay, just because I can't hear much on there at all at the minute, if any, just to give like a nice extra touch. But other than that, yeah, great track, man. Thanks for sending in. On to the next, and we have Bear Weagle with Never Hit the Brakes. Let's go.
It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes. I've been taking my time, it never hit the brakes. It'll see the work that it takes.
Wow, Bear Weagle, amazing track. Really, really like that. Love the rave stabs. I think they work really well. You've used them really nicely as well. I love these sort of chops in the middle here. Just gives the listener a break from the original riff, so I really like that. I think that maybe, well, yeah, first of all, the drums are like super solid. The bass works really well, and the vocal as well. Really, really like that. I think it sort of fits this sort of 90s, like rave house sort of vibe. So yeah, good sound selection on that behalf. I think for this first build up, I'd maybe just try and get rid of the rave stab altogether, and then just have it come in on the drop for the first time. Just an idea to sort of make it sort of fresh to the listener, and again, like something surprising on the drop makes it hit harder. Everyone look around like, wow, this is new, this is sick. So yeah, just give that a go, or like have it filtering up just so it doesn't come in straight away. And yeah, man, the only other thing I had was the vocal. I think you could do like a cool vocal loop at some parts, maybe on the build-ups. So just take the end part of the vocal, like a sort of 1 note or 2 note loop, and sort of have that repeating and filtering up. to the thing that you did with the rave stab where you filter it up. I think that sounds really nice. Yeah, so this bit here where you have the sort of riser with the rave stab build up, you could have a similar thing with the vocal but just chop the end off and sort of loop it. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, man, I'd say make an extended mix and yeah, start playing it, start sending it out, because yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential. So yeah, man, great work. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Next up, we have Mackie. Apologies if I'm saying this wrong. Hey DJ, extended mix. Let's go. Makey. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, man, great track. This is super, super solid. The drums are on point in terms of sound selection. Like the kick and the clap work so well together. Um, like the idea in general is really nice. The bass is super cool, super bouncy, has a really nice groove to it. Works really well. The vocal again, like it works really well. I just think it's used slightly too often. In my opinion, I think you could chop it up a bit more. And on the drops as well, I think the second drop doesn't need the full vocal. You could try like using one part of it and see how it sounds. Because it is a great vocal, but for me it sort of drags on a little bit, if that makes sense. So possibly my opinion would be try just increasing the BPM of the whole track by like 2, just to see if that works better with the vocal. But other than that, like, great vibe, wicked track. Really love the sort of drum sound selection and how it works together. And then just one more thing I'd maybe look at adding is like a sort of bigger synth sound, like a pad or something like that, just in here to sort of really take away from the drop. And when it comes back in, it sort of hits even harder. But other than that, yeah, like great sound selection. And yeah, man, really love the track. Thanks for sending in. Yeah, look forward to hearing some more stuff. Cool. Next up, we have I'm Mad, Trust Me with My Thing. Let's go. Wow. I'm Mad, Trust Me. Yeah, I mean, this is great. There's 2 things that stand out for me here. well, firstly, I think you've got two ideas here. So the first drop seems, well, first of all, the drops, there's two completely different kicks. So the second one is more of like a techno sort of track, and then the first one is just like a tech house thing. So for me, in this track, there's two different ideas and there's two different tracks that can be made out of this one. So the first one would be what you've got with that vocal, and then use the elements that you've got from this first drop here. And then a completely different track, I think you can use this cool like piano sort of rave sort of build up into this techno drop. And yeah, so literally it's like you've got two records, cut them in half and sort of join them, if that makes sense. But I don't think, so yeah, if you decide sort of what direction you want to go in with this, in my opinion, I'd sort of stick with this tech house bit, because this techno bit here is really cool with that vocal, that synth stab. So I'd maybe look at finding a different vocal for that, because there is a bit of a sort of key clash here with them chords and the vocal. It doesn't work sort of as well as it should, and there's sort of an issue with the key. But yeah, man, just try. You've got some really solid elements here, so try and sort of use this first bit and create a whole track, sort of cut it off here halfway and then make a track with this first bit, and then start a completely different project for this second half, because there is definitely potential here as well. So yeah, man, it's just sort of thinking, what direction do I want to go in with this track, and sort of sticking to your guns and sort of reminding yourself like what direction you started, and make sure you sort of don't go off on the wrong path when making your record, because it seems like you started wanting to make a tech house track and you ended up making like a techno sort of track with like a really cool piano stab, which is cool, but that's sort of two different things. So yeah, man, just try and create two tracks out of this one, this single track, and then yeah, man, you're good to go. Thanks for sending in. Let's go next up. We have Null Tone. How's it going, man? Good to see you again. And we have West with a Tesla. Let's get into it.
West with a tester. Nobody Wester. 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 Jester, beat on me that I'm ill cause I'm messed up. Underdog, 016 Leicester. Bro's got a job on for man like Leicester. I'm a kickballer, my name in the Esther. Key up being left, ain't nobody Wester. Send a big man west with a tester. Rotten, I'm sick, don't watch your man fester. West with a tester, 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 west with a tester. West with a tester, 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 west with a tester. Send a big man west with a tester. Lot and I'm sick, don't watch your man fester. My flow goes silly like Jester. B-tell me that I'm ill cause I'm Esther. Underdog, 016 Leicester. Bro's got a job on for man like Leicester. I'm a kick ball and my name in the Esther. Key I've been left, ain't nobody Wester. Send a big man west with a tester. Lot and I'm sick, don't watch your man fester. West with a tester, 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 west with a tester.
Null Tone, great work, man. Really like this. Sounds great. I really like the vocal as well. I think it sort of stands out to sort of everything else out there at the minute. It's different and it works really well with this sort of donk style of house, I guess, you've got going on. So I really like the bass. It works like well with your kick and the vocal. It's that sort of fits in that same vibe. The thing that I would look at doing is, well, potentially here you've got that vocal, and there's some chops here that work really cool. But I think throughout the drops you could have like a sort of reverb sort of loop going on, just sitting underneath the rest of the track, so that it sort of carries it nicely. So just take a part of the vocal, like a little snippet, add a really long reverb and sort of bounce that out, and then find a bit that's cool and loop it. And I think that would just add a bit more texture to the drops as well. And a few more things is the synth here, that sort of like melody sound you've got going on. I think the melody's cool, but maybe look at trying changing out the sound. I'm not sure if it works too well with the sort of vibe. I think you need more of like a sort of ravey sound. I think that would work really well with that sort of vocal that you've got. And then obviously the speed of the track, that sort of donk house. Yeah, man, other than that, like, really like the idea. Love the vocal that you've used. Completely different to most things I'm hearing these days. So yeah, man, great work. Thanks for sending in, and look forward to hearing what you got next. Cool. Mark, we are going with, apologies. Cool. So yeah, Mark with something, same thing. Sorry, we just have to skip this ad. Cool. All right, let's dive straight in.
To look me in the eyes and say out loud, 'cause life is short and we ain't got no clout. Don't set me up 'cause you feeling too proud. It's the same thing, still the same thing. Still the same thing, 'cause life is short and we ain't got no clout. Don't set me up 'cause you feeling too proud. It's the same thing, still the same thing.
Mark, great work, man. Really, really like that. Yeah, man. Like, I really like the sort of vocal there, and I think it works really well with that sort of bouncy sort of groove you got going on. Yeah, super solid record. Yeah, like drums work really well with that bass, and yeah, it sort of really gels it together. The only thing that I would have a look at is that sort of synth that you've got going on throughout the whole track. Maybe look at automating it, because it does get a bit sort of repetitive on each drop. If I show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's sort of dun 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 dun. That's a bit sort of repetitive, so well, I think it works really well, but because you've got it on sort of every drop throughout the track, I think if you automate it, so maybe take out some of the lows or some of the highs, or add some reverb in places, chop it up, then it will make it a bit more sort of interesting and less repetitive. But other than that, man, yeah, great work. Really like the track, sort of different vibe to a standard tech house, which I really like. So yeah, man, keep going, keep making tunes and sending them in. Yeah, man, wicked. Cool. Next up, we have RPBK with House Is My Religion. Let's go.
It's time to get up off your knees and get up on your feet. I just want to see you dance. Work your body to that beat. House is the religion, and the DJ is my deacon. But the music is my God. Let me know you hear me speaking. I love my house music. I just want to see you work. Work your body to that beat.
Wow, RPBK. That is a great record. I really, really like that. Yeah, I can't really say much bad about it, to be honest. The drums, again, like, really on point with the sound selection. Work really well. And then that sort of half a bar, I think it is, bass, gives it that really, really nice groove. A lot of swing. I could see this on something like Tool Room Tracks, maybe. It's got that sort of vibe about it. Super groovy. Vocal works really, really well as well. And yeah, I love everything about it. I think it works. It does what it says on the tin very well. If you play that on a dance floor, it'll be wicked on the sound system. You can hear that it sort of punches through. The only thing that I would sort of have a look at is you've got a really cool like timbali sort of percussion thing here. And I think maybe on the second drop or one of the drops, just so they both don't drop into the vocal, maybe try and drop into sort of a loop of this timbali stab or percussion hit thing. I think that would work really well with the vibe and sort of give it a bit more variation in the drops. But other than that, yeah, great record, super solid. Yeah, thanks for sending in, man. Let's go on to the next. We have Not Me, Still in Work, I Puppy. 54 minutes ago. So let's dive in.
I
quemando. Dime qué es lo que pasa. Vente pa' mi casa. Yo te espero sin nada. Dime qué es lo que pasa. Yo quiero desatarme contigo, papi. Perder el control contigo, papi. Dime qué es lo que digo, papi. Ay, papi, ay, papi.
Wow, not me. Great record. Really, really solid record. Yeah, I'm loving the vibes on this. For me, I really like how you've got almost like a euphoric sort of breakdown with the build up with the pads and stuff and the strings, and then when it hits, it probably goes back into like full swing tech house. So yeah, vibes are super solid. Yeah, I can't really say much. The vocal is really, really nice. There was a few things that I would sort of adjust slightly. So for me, the sort of drop drags on a little bit longer than I would like it to, just like around this section and this section, purely because it just feels like it's carrying on for the sake of it. So maybe either just try cut it out fully, so cut like 8 bars off this bit and then 8 bars here, then that'll make a sort of even shorter radio edit, which is working well on Spotify these days. Or introduce another element, so maybe add in like a sort of synth line or something like that. But the current sort of sounds that you've got are really cool. I really like the synth that you've got on the drop. And yeah, man, the sort of big sort of Hoover like hard synth that you've got on this drop is a nice touch and sort of gives a bit more variation from the two drops. So I think that works really well. And yeah, man, really super solid, to be honest. Like, there isn't much I can say about this record. It works really well. It's got great foundations. Just have a look at the arrangement a bit. Maybe try making it a bit shorter or adding else something in just to keep it sort of more interesting. But yeah, other than that, great work. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Next up, we have Surf, or Venby, Lowdown Surf remix. Let's go. Also, guys, I'm gonna sort of skip through this, skip through parts of the track just so we have enough time to get through everyone else. So yeah, cool. Let's go.
Low key for all now. To the line, to my CV in the back. say I'm a beautiful mess, but they lie all the time and they swear they don't care. They don't feel the weight of the world on their chest.
Jesus. Sort of. Yeah, I don't really know what to say on that one. That is incredible. Yeah, I'm pretty speechless on that. I've really, really enjoyed listening to that. Yeah, I haven't got much to say, to be honest. It shocked me a bit. I really, really love sort of the euphoric vibe you've built around the vocals, and like the melodic sort of stabs with that rolling bass line. The only thing I did have in mind to slightly improve it, but these are really small things, was to that sort of melodic stab. Maybe just look at automating it a bit slightly like you've done with the bass line, because I realised with the bass, you filtered it up at certain points, like here, to increase the filter cutoff, just so it variates it a bit. So maybe have a look at doing that with the sort of some of the synth melodies you've got, just to keep it slightly more interesting. But these are like really small things. This is like a super, super solid track. And yeah, man, I'd love to play this out actually. So if you have a copy, yeah, I'd love to have this in my record box. So yeah, man, super, super solid. I can't say much at all on it, to be honest. The drums work really well. The rolling bass is the right sound selection. So yeah, man, this is great. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, on to the next one. We have Gazing Warmth. Hope you're good, bro. This is 0000 Tech Mal. Let's have a listen.
Show her about the Show her about the tips from my black bass to beanie. She rub on my girl like there might be a genie. I can't take a tips from my black bass to beanie. She rub on my girl like there might be a genie. I can't take a tips from my black bass to beanie. She rub on my girl like there might be a genie. I can't take a bad dressing bitch to my mama. I might take a bitch from the hood to Bahamas. Show her about the from the hood to Bahamas. Show her about the. Show her about the. Show her about the. Show her about the.
Gazing Warmth. Great work on that, bro. That's sick. Really, really like that. Really high energy. The massive synth on the drop sort of really carried the track along. Yeah, man, like great energy on the track. Sounds super cool. Love the vocal as well. Again, brings the energy. I think it works really well together. Just a few elements I'd look at changing is maybe the kick. It seems sort of weak at the minute. It's a bit lost in the mix. But other than that, like the drums are super solid. It's just that section, which I would take a look at. But yeah, man, that's really, really cool track. Again, like the vocal fits the vibe perfectly of the record, and it works really well with that sort of big synth sort of leads that you're going after. So yeah, man, great work. I'd also take a look. For me, it doesn't feel like there's a big enough break or a break where enough stuff comes out, because it sort of feels like it's sort of flowed into one sort of thing. So maybe keep the first breakdown how it is, and then on this second one, maybe just look at sort of stripping down even more elements, and then that way the listener can have a break from sort of everything that you've got in here and really build the energy back up, and then when the drop hits, it will be even harder, if that makes sense. But other than that, yeah, like great work, man. Thanks for sending in. Cool. Right, I'm gonna go through these, sort of needle drop on these, just so we can get through everyone. As we've still got a fair few to go through. Cool. So next up we have Hit That Benner by Benner. Or Hit That by Benner, I think. Cool, let's go. Benner, great work on that, man. That sounds sick. There's yeah, there's some great foundations on this track. Like the drums with the bass sounds great. Like I think it works really well. Your sound selection again for the drums, super solid. Works great with this vibe, and the vocal is cool as well. It's not like a standard vocal. It sort of works well with this sort of really deep tech sound that you're going after. A few things for me is, so I think here in this section you've got like a really nice groove going on, and then when you bring in these other like pads and massive synths, I think they're too loud in the mix, and I think at points it can sound a bit crowded. So maybe look at using these pads or these big synths in the build-ups, and then on a drop you can drop to this like really cool groove with that one dark stab that you've got, I think, and that'll work really well. Because at some points here it sounded pretty sort of chaotic and you couldn't really hear what was going on. But you've definitely got some great foundations here, great sound selection. So my advice would just to be maybe rearrange where these big synths like sort of come into the track, and then maybe use them in the build up and then bring them down slightly in the mix, just to give space for everything else. But other than that, yeah, great record. Would love to hear this one again with some changes. So yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Yeah, guys, if you've just joined, I am gonna sort of needle drop through these just so we can get through the rest of them. So yeah, cool. Next up we have Clang Safari Shiva. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. With Pappy. Let's go. Wow, Clang Safari. That is wicked, man. That is such a cool record. Yeah, the kick is, first of all, the kick is absolutely large. Sounds great. The mix is also amazing. Like, the sounds just work really well together. And yeah, I like the sort of fake drops that you've got there. I think you had 2 in the second drop. I think that's like really cool surprise, and then when it kicks in, it really hits. So yeah, man, like really cool sort of creativity on that. Sound selection's great. The only thing that I would love to hear, and vocal is really cool as well, by the way, but the only thing I'd like to hear is on the first drop or the second, instead of having that vocal on the drop, just have that really cool like percussion, like timbali rolling thing that you've got. Just have that and the groove without the vocal, because I think that would hit much harder, especially on the first drop. But other than that, that's just a sort of creativity thing that came to mind. Other than that, it works really well. And then the vocal as well on the break here, I'd maybe look at adding some reverb, just because when it sort of plays here, it sort of cuts off, and it doesn't seem like there's much sort of texture there or atmosphere. So if you add some reverb, it'll add that sort of towel onto it and create a bit more atmosphere in the mix. And then potentially like a pad as well, just one note or one chord, again just to create a bit of texture and atmosphere in the build up. But other than that, yeah, like man, that's great work, Clang Safari. Thanks for sending in, wicked track, cool. Right, next up we have In My Mind by Technic. Let's go.
Understand what I'm saying. Love keeps growing, but mobilizing. The advertising, they keep televising, homogenizing, demonizing. Move your body like you're exercising. Do the stomp, do the switch. Fly out the wall, cause I smell like I do it. Shoot arrows like Cupid, we talk like computers. Love keeps growing, but the hate is still playing. I'm off cause I smell like I'm rich. Travel them through it, shoot arrows like Cupid, we talk like computers. There's a lot to get in this.
Wow, Technic, really good work there, man. I really like that. The drums again, like super unique in this. Really like the vibe of them, and it works super well with that vocal, that really nice soulful vocal. Really like that, and it just works well with the groove, which is cool. The only thing that I would look at changing is, or possibly just swapping out the sound, is this sort of EDM sort of stab you've got here. I'm not sure if it fits in with the rest of the vibe of the track. Yeah, because you have this really cool like sax trumpet thing, which I think would work well. And then I just don't think it mixes that well with that sort of EDM big room sort of style stab. So maybe just look at getting rid of that full stop. That might be enough. Or if it feels empty, look at adding in like a different element, or just change the sound of the current EDM stab, and I think that will just take you to the next level. But other than that, the mix down sounds great. Really good creativity. I like how it's completely different to anything else, which is really cool. So yeah, man, thank you for sending in. Cool. Right, we're just gonna have time for a few more, guys. So if we hop into this one, this is Bassline Vandal by Leahy. Cool. Let's hop in.
Man, know I'm a baseline vandal, 90 degree aside the right angle. Hot, I got my hand on my handle. Life's been a gamble, K-block scandal. Man, know I'm a baseline vandal, 90 degree aside the right angle. Hot. Vando, 90-degree, aside the right angle. Hot. Man, know I'm a baseline van. Know I'm a baseline, bass. Man, know I'm a baseline Vando, 90-degree, aside the right angle. Hot. Degree, aside the right angle. Hot.
Wicked. Lay, thanks for sending this in, man. This is great. Vocal is really, really cool. Love the sort of attitude and style on that vocal. I think it works really well. Again, like the bass is really heavy. Really like the vibe of it. Works really well. The drums, the bass and the vocal I think work really well. The only thing that's sort of bothering me here is that sort of really high like synth sort of keyboard sound that you've got here. Yeah, I don't think it works with the vibe that well, in terms of it seems really happy, like compared to the rest of the track. I don't think it matches the attitude and the energy. I think it slows it down. So yeah, man, just maybe look at trying just a different sound. That could definitely work. And yeah, that's the only thing that sort of really stood out to me. Everything else is really cool. Really like the vibe of it. The vocals really nice. Maybe again, just try to add some variation. Just try adding in some certain drums in the second part or the first part of the drop, etc. Just add a bit more variation. But other than that, man, yeah, like wicked vibe. Really like what you got here. So yeah, man, thanks for sending in. Cool. Okay, we have time for one more. Unfortunately, so we are going to go with this next one, and this is Copper, Doing Time by Lana Del Rey, Copper Flip. So let's go. Copper, love that edit. Really cool. I think I could see that being played in the sort of like beach clubs. Really chilled vibes. Really like that. Yeah, man. I love the percussion stuff that you got going on. It's really cool. It works really well. The only thing I would sort of look at adding is in the breakdowns, or even in the drops, adding like another sort of synth element just to keep it interesting, because it is sort of the same thing over and over, which is cool. It's that sort of record, but it would be nice to hear like an extra synth or something. And yeah, man. Other than that, yeah, just like a bit more mixing on the track, like the drums or the kick needs to come up along with the bass. But that's all stuff that can be easily fixed. So yeah, man, just maybe look at adding another sort of synth or extra element at some point in the track, just to keep it interesting. But yeah, other than that, really like the vibes on that. Thanks for sending in, Copper. Cool. Alright, Sensation is in the chat. Check my editor, is the next one. Cool. Alright, this is the final track that we have time for today. And this is Kiss Me Through the Phone edit, work in progress by Sensation. Let's go.
Baby, I know that you like me. You my future wife, my wife. Text you, my feelings get deeper. I miss ya, I miss ya. I really wanna kiss you, but I can't. So I can't triple 92 white. Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you when I get home. We taking pics like you know that I miss my baby girl, and that's the issue. Through the phone, kiss me through the phone, kiss me through the phone. Baby, you know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. We on the phone like we on the
Sensation, that is super solid. Really love that remix. Yeah, I like the way that you've used the vocal on the drop, and then a different part comes in on the second half of the drop. That's really cool. Yeah, like drums are super solid, bass is really cool, works really well with the vocals. Got that really nice sort of percussion groove to it as well, which is wicked. Yeah, man, really enjoyed listening to that. Great record. The only thing I'd take a look at is it feels quite bare at some points, like in these breaks. I know you've got the vocal sort of by itself, which is cool for an effect, but I think it goes on just slightly too long for me. So maybe look at adding in like a pad or a bass or something like that here. Like a respace or something just to sort of gel it together, a nice texture underneath, because yeah, it does feel quite bare. And then I like the way you've used that sort of synth from the original just before the drop. I think that works really well as like a hook. And that was about it for me. Like, and then in these second parts, again, you could introduce something new, maybe a synth stab or something even as simple as like a ride or an extra percussion hit. Again, something to just keep it interesting. But other than that, like, yeah, great edit, man, works really well. So yeah, thanks for sending in. Cool. Alright, crew, that is all we have time for today, unfortunately. We've pretty much got through all the edits. And yeah, some wicked tracks today. There's loads of great records in here. So yeah, thanks for sending in. Look forward to the next feedback session. And if you join the Discord with the link in the description below, there's loads of cool stuff on there. A great community with loads of producers, and you get free giveaways, and you can chat with other producers as well in the same sort of space as you. So yeah, man, it's really cool. So click the link in the description to join the Discord if you haven't already, and you'll also get notified of when the next feedback session is. So yeah, great session, guys. Make sure to subscribe to Tech House Market if you haven't already, and I'll